All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tanner Holmes. Tonight, I'm going to be racing here at the Red Bluff Outlaws in Northern California, and this show is the 2024 Tony Sousa Memorial. We're going to be racing for $2,501. That's going to be the winner's share of tonight's purse. We're racing for a really awesome trophy, and we're going to be honoring one of the legends of this building and the sport of outlaw karts in general.
This one is for you, Tony.
So we just got all suited up, got the cars fired, and we're gonna be on track in the next half hour. We got our QRC pit right this direction with the 18T and the 60L, my teammate Landon Brooks. We're about to head out for qualifying, which is what starts your day at Red Bluff. What makes this track unique is you don't get a chance to hot lap. Your first time you're out there, you're on the clock, and you have to be on it. So the racetrack here is gonna be lightning quick, most likely in the 8-second bracket, and we're gonna need to be as close to the top of the charts as possible to set ourselves up for a heat race. So after qualifying, you always check out the board to see where you're at, and I was only in 5th out of 8 cars, and my laps felt really good. So at this point, I'm confused going back to the trailer like, what did I do wrong, or why was I so slow? Well, we just made our first laps of the day on track. Car felt pretty good. I thought my line was good. I drove it really, really hard. But I think with the surface being a little slimy, I was almost spinning the tires more than I was moving forward. See, on a dirt surface, when the racetrack is slick in any way, if you're giving it too much throttle, you know, the more you give, the more your tires spin, and the more you're just kind of sitting on top of the track. And I mean, it's the difference in that much, but I just was entering really hard, but I couldn't really get through the center and off the corner like I needed to. So right now we're at the bottom half of the top 10. We'll see where we end up. We really need to try to stay in the top 20, which is the heat race inversion bubble, to be in the first 2 rows for that. So we got a quick break with heat races up next. Our time, which was just into the 8-second bracket, ended up holding on for 12th quick out of 36 opens. Not bad by any means. Actually, you know, since I'm not here racing for points this winter, put me in a good spot. I'm on the front row of the heat race, and if I can run in the top 2, I'll transfer directly into the A main event, and I'll have a shot at making the redraw. It really just depends on who transfers through the heats and then who gets sent to the lower mains. Racetrack's fast, it has grip, and it's actually still, I feel like, you know, almost getting better. Like, it's just continuing to work in. It's wet, it's colder outside, so that also keeps moisture into the racing surface. But yeah, starting front row outside here for this heat. You're on the front row, just try to get a good start, set a good pace, and if we can get out front, just lead all 8 laps and try to see how our race car feels for later in the night. But the goal is to transfer directly here into the feature and make the rest of our night easier.
just kind of, I don't know, it's nerve-wracking to know when to go for it and when not. And last thing you want to do is get yourself in trouble in a transfer spot, but there was also a couple guys there right behind us ready to pound. Well, after our heat races, the poor weather has rolled in and it's now raining. And inside the building, we have a little bit of track prep going on. Racetrack's been pretty fast all night, and with the rain, it's gonna stay that way. Luckily, we made it through our heat race, started second, finished second. Thought I had the best car, just didn't get the start I needed, you know, to have a chance at getting the lead, and was kind of pushing around first the whole time. He would float up a little bit on exit, and then I was able to keep my car right on the crease, and I would just get right to his back bumper. Probably should have pulled a slider, but just got worried that if we started racing with how everyone was, you know, with where everyone was at, then third or fourth would pounce. I was hoping by just staying in line, it was enough for us to run all the laps. In the end, it worked out. We had a green and white checkered because we had a yellow with 1 lap to go. I blocked and ran the bottom, then slid myself in 3 and 4 and just got to the line. At the end of the day though, we ran second, and now we're gonna be rolling off from 7th in tonight's A, as unfortunately we missed the redraw just because of how the other heat races shook out. So A main events are just about to roll, and I feel like the racetrack is really shaping up nicely. You know, every race car kind of takes its own track conditions to put on the best show, but right now the top, it's a little bit harder. It still has grip. The bottom has more grip, but since it's flat, you know, with less banking, it's not as fast. But I think as the main events go, the top and the bottom are hopefully gonna become more equal. Once more guys run down low, they're gonna make the top side dirty. That's gonna make the bottom better, and it's gonna slow down the high side. Of course, we never know for sure, but I feel like rolling into the A's, this is a really good position. Like I said, the racetrack still has some grip, but it has some room to also slick off. It's not gonna take rubber. It shouldn't be too hard on tires, but hopefully we'll be able to run both lanes, which ourselves in the 18T, we're gonna need that. We're gonna be coming from row 4, which it's by no means impossible. The car that won last night actually won from last. Red Bluff's so unpredictable, you just gotta be in the right spot at the right time, but luckily we got a good hot rod. Jimmy's gonna put the final adjustments on it, and I think for us, we're just gonna have to be good enough to run the bottom, run the top, and throw sliders and really attack when the opportunity arises in front of us.
Good luck, dude. You win.
guys. They just weren't good enough to win that one. Well, by no means a bad result, a bad race or anything. Started 7th, fell back to 9th early, and then ended up finishing on the podium in 3rd. My teammate Landon won from the pole. He was really good, and Tyler Seavey was in 2nd. I felt like they must have been pretty even. I was watching them. At one point, I thought they might start racing because they were so close. You could throw a blanket over them, but I was never really a factor. Once I got to 3rd, I just got really, really stagnant. We definitely used our tires pretty good. Took a little bit early to get hot, but then once they got warm, our cars got a little better. But I just felt like I said, was probably a 3rd place car. I fought being too loose the whole race. I knew I might have been in trouble when I was already grabbing wing early on, and then I started grabbing more wing to just try to get some more angle, which helps get you a little bit more rear drive getting it back. But even when I did that, like I get in okay, but I just don't have the stick in the center. Like whether I'm off the gas, whether I'm on it, like my hands are just turned right with the steering wheel, and it's just like I'm dragging off the corner. Like like I said, like the right rear's not sticking and driving me straight. It's still driving me like sideways. So that just hurt me. I figured as the race went on, I thought I'd maybe get a little bit better, but I really didn't. I almost felt like I said, I was very stagnant, stayed the same. So kind of unfortunate, just because like I said, it sucks when you get going and you're like, man, I don't really have a shot to win this unless, got cars in front of you, circumstances, crash, whatever. But still not a bad result. Definitely could have went the other way, starting in the middle. You never know what the chaos is going to look like. But for us, we capitalized when we had the opportunity. We just weren't able to do anything once we got towards the front.